Imagine a world without supermarkets, the internet, video games, or YouTube. I know, even thinking about it is terrifying. Yet it was in a world like that around 6,000 years ago, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, modern-day Iraq, that the Sumerian civilization emerged. And as it happens, it was the first civilization in history. Their land is known as Mesopotamia, a Greek word meaning the land between rivers. We still don't know where the Sumerians came from, and their language isn't related to any other known language in the world. But how did the world's first civilization emerge in a land plagued by drought and scarce resources? Silt. Every year, the Tigris and Euphrates flooded their banks, leaving behind rich layers of silt. This fertile sediment transformed the dry land into productive farmland, allowing the Sumerians to harvest abundant crops and support a growing population. Unlike the Egyptians and their predictable Nile, the Tigris and Euphrates were anything but reliable. Their floods came at different times each year, left behind varying amounts of silt, and sometimes even destroyed Sumerian settlements. To survive, the Sumerians had to learn how to control the water, and by doing so, they didn't just survive, they thrived in one of the harshest, driest regions of the ancient world.
Hey, Sumerian. Maybe he'll shut up. I know you can hear me. What? Don't you get tired of spending your whole life working this field? You seem way too obsessed with a bunch of grain. Back home in Egypt, I only have to work half as hard. Oh yeah? And how do you manage that? Simple. I'm above material things. Someone like you wouldn't understand.
Sumer wasn't a unified state. Instead, it consisted of dozens of independent city-states, each with its own ruler, army, and patron god. The first of these is traditionally considered to be Eridu. Dating back to around 5400 BC, Eridu is regarded as the oldest Sumerian city. According to Sumerian mythology, it was here that the gods first bestowed kingship upon humanity. It was from Eridu that Sumerian civilization began to grow. During the Eridu period, grain production and the population expanded rapidly. For the first time, people could devote their entire lives to a single craft, making pottery, working copper, building, weaving, or trading. This was the home of the temple of Enki, the god of water and wisdom. He may have been a great god of water, but his wisdom is open to debate. Meet Inanna, the goddess of love and fertility. As the patron goddess of Uruk, she was determined to make her city surpass Eridu, so she came up with a cunning plan.
That's so kind of you to throw this feast in my honor. And it's even kinder of you to finish another barrel of wine without noticing that I'm still completely sober.
I do my best.
By the way, Enki, mind if I borrow the me?
Yeah, sure.
You do realize you're handing me the divine degrees that give you your authority and power, right?
Yep.
And I could just take them back to Uruk, and there'd be nothing you could do about it?
Is that supposed to be a problem?
Okay.
When Enki finally sent his monsters after Inanna, she was already safely inside the walls of Uruk, carrying the me with her. In Sumerian mythology, this story explains how Uruk rose to become Sumer's leading city, while Eridu faded into the background. Around 4000 to 3500 BC began what historians call the Uruk period. Uruk was the closest thing the ancient world had to a superpower. At its peak, the city was home to between 50,000 and 80,000 people, and was surrounded by walls stretching for nearly 9 kilometers. During the Uruk period, the temple became the heart of the economy. Priests controlled grain storage, food distribution, workshops, canal construction, and much of the city's trade. It was during the Uruk period that historians believe writing first emerged, the Sumerians' greatest gift to the world. This was the birth of cuneiform, the world's oldest known writing system. Its wedge-shaped symbols were pressed into clay tablets. At first, cuneiform was created to solve administrative problems, keeping track of grain, goods, and taxes. But over time, it became a way to record ideas, stories, and knowledge for generations to come. But the other cities weren't standing still. By around 2900 BC, many had grown powerful enough to challenge Uruk's dominance. As these rival cities rose, power became increasingly decentralized across the region, marking the beginning of what historians call the early dynastic period. This was the age when the first cities evolved into true city-states, each with its own ruler and army. During the Uruk period, power had largely rested in the hands of the priests. Now, kings began to emerge. The Sumerians called them Lugal, literally great man. It was also an age of constant warfare as independent city-states fought one another for land, resources, and above all, water.
I have to admit, I'm impressed. You had an excellent harvest this year. Ours was better, of course.
Thanks. The extra grain should let us expand our army and make it the strongest in the region. If a little more water happened to reach our fields, we could grow even more.
Good thing that's never going to happen.
Oh, and your pottery is magnificent. I'd be happy to accept some as a gift. Not that it comes close to ours, of course.
How could you? Damn the river.
While the scattered city-states spent centuries slaughtering one another, by 2334 BC, someone finally found a way to take advantage of the chaos. Sargon of Akkad. He managed to unite the Sumerian cities under a single empire. But Sumerian culture didn't disappear. Akkadians and Sumerians influenced each other, with the Akkadians adopting cuneiform, religion, architecture, and literature from the Sumerians. For the first time in history, the power of a single ruler extended beyond neighboring cities to an entire network of city-states. The Akkadian Empire lasted for about a century and a half. It eventually collapsed under pressure from the Gutians, a mysterious people from the east, probably from territories in modern-day Iran. The Sumerians themselves remembered their rule as a dark age. After decades of political fragmentation, a ruler named Ur-Nammu united much of southern Mesopotamia and drove the Gutians out. This marked the beginning of the third dynasty of Ur. If bureaucracy was only beginning to emerge during the Uruk period, by the time of Ur-Nammu, it had spread throughout the entire system of government. So now you know who to blame the next time you're stuck in line waiting for yet another document. Archaeologists have discovered tens of thousands of clay tablets recording all kinds of things. Apparently, bureaucracy didn't need printers to produce mountains of paperwork. One of the most important achievements of this period was the Code of Ur-Nammu, which predates the famous Code of Hammurabi by 3 centuries. Many of its laws prescribed monetary fines instead of the principle of an eye for an eye. Despite all its power, the state of Ur lasted for just over a century. In 2004 BC, it was conquered, bringing an end to the last independent Sumerian state. Although the Sumerians lost their political independence, their civilization did not simply vanish. Their ideas, traditions, and achievements continue to live on in the states that followed them. Perhaps the Sumerians didn't disappear after all. Perhaps they only disappeared from the map.